Hello everybody, Snogritz here. It has been quite a while since my last video, huh? Well, don't worry, I've still been alive, I've just been really busy with work. Vrchat released a new update regarding the creator economy. It has been quite a while since we got any new information about it since the last dev update and the whole EAC controversy. However, it is now officially here in the open beta, which they announced a 2-week window of when it will be released to everybody. It seems that some people are very confused about this update, so I'll go ahead and explain it. Vrchat now has a currency system. They are called Vrchat credits, and prices can range from $5 all the way to $100. Your amount of Vrchat credits will be displayed in the quick menu. Also, they recently added a clock there too, so that's pretty neat. If you ever played games like Roblox or Fortnite, you might be familiar with the concept of buying items or skins in the game with virtual currency. So Roblox has Robux and Fortnite has V-Bucks. At any point you want to buy like a nice cosmetic for your character or a skin for your weapon, you can do so by buying it with in-game currency. Or at any point you want to get like a speed boost in like a Roblox world or something, you would usually use Robux to buy that. It's essentially the same thing in Vrchat, so let's say you want to get like a nice skin for your gun in Prison Escape, you usually would go to the Patreon and subscribe to a tier in order to get the gun skin that you want, but with the in-game currency, you can all do it in-game by purchasing the Vrchat credits, buying it in the store, and then getting instant access to it without having to wait for the world creator to update it in the world's code. This is amazing for world creators, as it allows them to not have to constantly update the URAN code of the world for every new Patreon supporter. It takes a lot of time and resources depending on how big your world is, and that's why some world creators have specific dates on when they update their worlds for Patreon supporters. This system helps both the user and the world creator. All of these updates are part of Vrchat's new creator economy. If you don't know what it is, it's essentially just an in-game way to support your favorite creators. So instead of supporting them through Patreon, you can alternatively support them with in-game currency, which is Vrchat credits. It's very convenient and allows a whole bunch of functions and worlds. Well, what does that mean for you, the player? Well, it makes it a whole lot more convenient to support the world creator by being able to do everything in-game. In the past, you had to go to Patreon, you had to make an account, you had to subscribe to a tier, and then you had to wait for the world creator to update the world so that you can use your Patreon features. With this system, you can get everything done in-game and in real time without having to wait. I was actually able to try this on one of my favorite worlds, and it works like a charm. I was able to get my gold skin in real time. This can open a whole slew of possibilities just beyond Patreon perks. Let's say you find an avatar you like in like Vrchat for instance. You like how it looks on you and you want to purchase it. Well, instead of going to an external link like Gumroad and purchasing it there, you can buy it in-game with the virtual currency, and you can have all the files be sent to a folder, the same way that Vrchat sends your files from your pictures to a folder. As much as this system is a very good way for users to support their favorite world creators, it definitely can be abused in a lot of ways. However, the good news is that that's in control of the world creator and not Vrchat. The world creator determines how much they want to charge for something and what they want to charge for it. Vrchat's only control is just how much they get out of your revenue. Speaking of the revenue, I definitely think this will help me transition to my next point in the video, which will be why is this creator economy kind of like a double-edged sword, if you will. I have mixed feelings about this whole creator economy thing. On one side, it's a great feature for people to be able to spend currency in the game to access features or perks, and it makes things easier for world creators. However, on the other hand, Vrchat world creators will be taking a bigger cut of the revenue if they get the money through the game instead of through Patreon. Currently, Vrchat has provided an official pie diagram on how the revenue will be split. It's basically just a 50-50. So 50 will go to the world maker, 30% will go to the platform, that's your platform like Steam, Meta, or Google Play if you're on mobile, and 20% will go to Vrchat. This is a little strange to me since in the industry we have a 70-30, 70% going to the developer and 30% going to the platform, but since Vrchat in nature is a community-driven game, there's essentially a third person into the mix, which is the world creator. This problem really comes from the fact that you're sharing revenue with 3 other people instead of 2. Usually in the industry, you're only sharing revenue with the publisher or the platform, but now you have to have 3 people in the mix because there's someone else making stuff too, so you have to split it 3 ways. Just to be clear, some people have a misconception that 50% is going directly to Vrchat. That is not true at all. That 30% platform fee that the revenue is shared between does not go directly to VRChat at all. That goes to the platform based on where you bought it from, so whether it's Steam, Meta, or Google Play if you're on VRChat mobile. What VRChat does get though is 20%. However, despite the circumstances, it does make me question its viability for world creators. Why the hell would I want to split my revenue with 50 when I can be sharing it with Patreon for 12 or 8%? I mean, of course it depends on what creator plan you're subscribed to, but that is way lower compared to 50. I wouldn't be surprised if some world creators decide to stick to the Patreon method, but it's essentially a trade-off. What's the trade-off, you might ask? Convenience. One of the biggest things I've learned when I used to be manager at retail is never underestimate the power of convenience. Convenience brings revenue, and at any point you make the end user really easy for them to spend money, they're most likely going to spend a whole lot more of it compared to a friction-like system like Patreon where you literally have so many steps in order to get what you pay for. It honestly just comes down to this. Do you want to make it easier for your users to spend money in your world within VRChat, making you more revenue but receive a higher pay cut? Or do you want to stick to the Patreon tiers that users can sign up for, but make it way less convenient, arguably a little tedious, affecting revenue and your user retention? But, on the plus side, you get to keep way more of your earnings. I think it really comes down to how big is your world, but that's just my opinion. I'm not a world creator. Though I'm a little skeptical on VRChat implementing this system. Let's be real, VRChat is a company that needs to grow and make money, just like every other company. Maintaining a game like this can be quite costly, so I'm not too surprised that they're trying to get more money off their players, but I have a feeling that they're trying to make it conveniently as possible for the end user to buy stuff so that they can choose that over getting Patreon. And I think the reason why they also want to do that was the fact that anytime that someone bought something through Patreon, VRChat wasn't getting any of that. So I guess this is their way of getting the piece of that revenue pie. I'm hoping that this system doesn't try to replace Patreon. I would rather prefer for world creators to have options instead of obligations. I hope that it doesn't go to that direction eventually, but this is a company we're talking about, so it might be inevitable, but I hope not anytime soon. The good news is that world creators are not forced to integrate or use the creator economy, so they can just stick to Patreon if they want to. There's a reason why I labeled this video the VRChat creator economy as a double-edged sword, because on one aspect, it's really great for users to be able to support their favorite avatar or world creators in an in-game convenient way so that we can get rewarded for our hard work. We all do our very best to bring the very best experiences for you guys because we love this game as much as you do, and we're passionate about the content that we bring to you guys because we just love VRChat. But I have a feeling that depending on what direction VRChat takes it, they might make the game into a very bad place, and I definitely don't want to see that happen, but that's not within my control, unfortunately. One more thing before I end up this video, and that's the share that VRChat's taking. Why are they taking 20%? It's just a little weird from a business perspective because VRChat is literally taking less money than the platform that is hosting, which is really unlike them, honestly. Like, I just can't comprehend the fact that Steam is taking 30% and it's taking more money than VRChat on its own game and on its own currency system. You know, don't you find that a little strange? But then you may be asking, Snuggy, what's the issue? Isn't it great that VRChat's only taking 20%? At least they're considering for creators and taking a shorter revenue share so that they can have a higher one. And to that I say, well, you're right, but at the same time, their motivations might not be as pure as you think. I'm gonna be real with you. The reason why VRChat is taking 20% is because they need to make everything enticing for people to get into. Let's be real. If you want people to develop stuff for your game, you don't want to advertise such a high revenue split. Because at that point, nobody's incentivized to develop games for you. Given the revenue split right now is still pretty high, like 50-50 is still pretty high, but it's definitely not the worst in the world considering that you're sharing with 3 other people. But they're advertising the 50-50 for now. Try to get as much creators into the system as possible. Let them devote as much time and work into that system. And then, once they have enough of a user base, they're going to raise their share of how much they take. And it would be really hard for the creator to opt out of it because they dedicated so much time and effort into doing all this that it's not really viable for them to go anywhere else. Not unless they have a career outside the game, which I always recommend people do, but that's just me. However, just imagine that you have so much time built into something, and then Vrchat just decides to raise the revenue share, and you have no choice but to share that extra revenue with them because you have so much time into this one system that it's not even viable to go to another platform to try to do something else. At that point, you're just gonna lose money. And that's exactly what they're gonna try to do. This business model works in not just games such as VRChat, but I've seen this happen on video hosting site YouTube, streaming platform Twitch. They all done the same thing, and it works. And I wouldn't be surprised if VRChat tries the same thing. I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page in terms of transparency. I want to make sure that whoever buys stuff in the game knows how the revenue is split to the creator they support. And I want to make sure that the creator knows exactly what they're getting into and what can potentially might happen if they do invest time into that system. Because I care about this game and I care about you, the viewer, depending on whether you're a player or a creator. Because we all love this game. That is pretty much everything on all my thoughts on the creator economy. I feel like, making this video definitely had its value, and I really wanted to share it with everybody because, I just had it in my mind, and I was like, maybe I should tell everybody this, But anyways, I don't want to end the video on a bad note. I don't want to make anyone sad or anything like that. I love VRChat. I still love VRChat. I still play it, But you have to see the realities of some of the things that they do because at the end of the day, they are a business. So there's that. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's nice seeing you all again. I'm sorry that I have been gone for a while, but I'm glad that we were able to see each other again. Anyways, see y'all later. I'm going to go grab some food, and you have a great day. This is Snoggerts, signing out.